It's very, very important for us to make wine that has a unique story to tell. We don't want to be copying any other wine regions around the world. We want to be making wine that expresses us as South Africans and vineyards that are South African. In 2013, Andrew and I partnered with Analjit Singh and started the Leeu Passant winery on Leeu Estates in Franschhoek. Leeu Passant is really about expressing South African heritage, to farm with vineyards that are special, vineyards that are planted in exciting places, and bottle wines that really represent South African vineyards, but also South African culture, South African tastes as well.
For Leeu Passant wines, we're working with vineyards that date back far as 1900, and the heritage of the wines and the history behind the vines are such an important part of the story of what makes Leeu Passant so special.
Our white wine for Leeu Passant is a Chardonnay from the slopes of Helderberg Mountain in Stellenbosch. It's a vineyard with a very strong maritime influence and planted quite high up. And Chardonnay is a grape variety that loves a cool site, and this vineyard is extremely cool, never gets really, really warm.
The Chardonnays that we like drinking are also the kind of Chardonnay that we want to aim to make, which is a very zesty, salty, flinty, concentrated but incredibly fresh Chardonnay that still dances on the palate, brings incredible length, and will age forever.
The red wines for Leeu Passant are based on very old vine Cinsault. So we're working with two vineyards, one planted in Franschhoek on the lower slopes of the Franschhoek Mountains, and then one vineyard planted in Wellington. Our Cinsault vineyards are the two oldest registered red wine vineyards in South Africa, planted back in 1900 and in 1932. And these are vineyards that were often planted before there were any machinery in South Africa. And then we produce a Stellenbosch Cabernet from a few different special sites in Stellenbosch. These are from the cooler parts of Stellenbosch, close to False Bay. These are sites that allow us to pick Cabernet relatively late in the season, but without a lot of sugar, without a lot of alcohol. So they're rich, they're intense, but they're lovely, fresh, and I think are a great expression of what Stellenbosch Cabernet Sauvignon can be.
We're making a Cabernet Sauvignon Cinsault blend, which is a style of blend that started being made in the early 1900s and is still an incredibly expressive wine of South African heritage today. Having old vineyards is like having a very special older grandpa at the dinner table.
They've seen wars, they've seen droughts, they've built a lot of character, and they really give us fruit with a lot of incredible intensity and beautiful aromatics.
You get incredible concentration, especially on the whites, and you get amazing finesse and refinement, especially on the red wines. South Africa has an incredible collection of old vineyards, and old vines need to be preserved, and knowledge about them need to be shared.